live, laugh.
Please welcome to the podcast our first ever cell phone video intro of the house prolific TheisaiahWolf.
That was good. What's good?
Yes, sir.
Some of that shit that you do is insane to me. There was that I think it was the second clip in that where you like do the spinning in the air European like uppercut arm.
Oh, I call that the imprint.
Yeah, that's fucking nuts. And then I saw something else, like a video recently that just didn't make sense. Like I just kept watching it over and over and over again, and it still did not connect in my brain as to what was actually happening.
What move was that?
I'm trying to remember. It was some sort of like kick, but it was like a flip maybe in it, or I think I retweeted it. I could probably go back.
It took me forever to figure out that twisting thing was a European uppercut, not a stunner.
Oh yeah, I call it the imprint. I did that since like 2000. Like late 2015. Like I started in 2015. I'm like it popped in my head like around 2016, and I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna stick with that. It sucks for some, like if you have like a sweaty ass back and just like, wow, kidney shot, but it makes a great sound. And then I just like I up the ante. I hit it with the sweet tooth. Yeah, a lot of my stuff is like really high. Yeah, like a lot of my stuff is like very high impact. Y'all call it the swerve kick. I call it the sweet tooth because mine's a lot different than Shane. Mine's a lot different than Shane's.
Here it is, right here.
Ew!
Oh, 7 pounds of pressure.
Yeah, that's insane. So
yeah, 7 pounds of pressure. I didn't have a name for it at all. I didn't know what to call it, and then I was ironically I was watching P Valley, and it was like the finale, and there was like this rapper Alphonse who I actually retweeted it. I was like, yo, he had a song called 7 pounds of pressure, and I was like, yo, man, that registers. It's like most everything that I do kind of like emulates what inspired me or I take from like personal things in my life. So I was like, when I pull the trigger, that's it. So I was like, yo, it takes 7 pounds of pressure to pull the trigger. Oh shit, there it is.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Nice. That would also be a sick mixtape too. Just saying.
Yeah. But yeah, we are joined by TheisaiahWolf. Before we do socials, but I have a question. Is it like protocol for House Prolific to drink juice straight from the bottle?
For me, yeah. Everybody in my crew probably has cups and stuff like that. Me, it's been a long ass day, and I don't feel like washing dishes right now, so I'm gonna drink out it's my bottle. I mean, nobody else is drinking zinc, like orange mango, like Ocean Spray. Shout out to the Ocean Spray. They probably would never sponsor me, but fuck it, try it out.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, you got to shoot your shot. You never know. We did it with the bidet company, and it worked. It worked.
Yeah. I tried. I've tried with Mountain Dew. I've tried with Jamba Juice. I'm like, just holla at me, you know.
You going after the heavy hitters though? Jamba Juice and Mountain Dew. That's a corporation, my man. That's big. Hey, when they come calling, oh yes, oh yes.
I'm trying.
Yes.
I'm right there with you. I think there's many ways to get money and enjoy, like especially if you're making money in buying the things you're already buying.
That's right.
Really can't beat it.
That's right.
I'm like, if I decide to have like one more kid, I will try and get a sponsor from Pampers or like,
man. I remember. I think this is true. Dan, you'd have to look it up to fact check me. But 2 Chainz for a while had a sponsor from Similac.
I can believe that. I can definitely
facts.
believe that, man.
It's a good sponsor to have because that
Yeah,
is not
it's not
cheap.
bad.
Awesome. Where can everybody find you on social media? Where can everybody support you via merch or YouTube or just
Oh yeah, YouTube is Isaiah Wolf, straight up Isaiah Wolf. My Instagram is Isaiah_Wolf 23. My Twitter or X is the Isaiah Wolf, and Facebook is Isaiah Wolf. Yeah, very kind of get right to it. And if y'all trying to follow Prolific, it's Prolific BQE at on Instagram.
All right, folks, look, we're gonna do it together. All right, look, Isaiah underscore Wolf 23. Come on, folks, do it with me. I
if you're
got
not
you.
pulling your phone up right now,
Yeah,
you're
you're
just
already lost.
all of our moms are disappointed with you right now. You can hear my
My
dog
grandma,
barking. My
yeah,
dog is
my
barking at
grandma
you.
definitely ain't trying to hear your nonsense. Look, guys, I mean, it's that easy. Just I hit it once, just pop, boop, and now we in there. Whatever he's doing, we in there.
I appreciate that.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes, sir.
And speaking of House Prolific, for those who don't know, give us like an entry level education on what Prolific is. I don't know why I keep calling it House Prolific like it's a Game of Thrones.
I don't. I'm like, there's levels to it. I'm not gonna hold you. Like, yo, Prolific has been in the game for like 5 years. 5 years. We started. Cool, my math is crazy right now. But we definitely started like around 2019. And it started with my brother Marcus Marquis, our mutual friend Tyree Taylor, and then we added Ruthless Lala, and then we added our wise brother, um, Big Baby, or in this case, he's no longer Big Baby no more. He's straight wise brother Dre. But yo, I saw the indie scene and I wanted to make a difference in my own way. Plus, I just want to have the opportunity to be in the car with somebody that I rock with for more than 15 minutes and not be like, it's time for you to get the hell out of my car. But nah, but I also find it kind of funny because Marcus was actually a rival of mine, and I actually had a match against Tyree, and I was like, wow, these guys, they hit. And I was like, I'd rather, as well as fun as it is to be across the ring from them, it's also great to have them in my corner. And it was like one of the things that, like, independent wrestling really didn't have too many black factions out there. So I was like, yo, if I could do this with like my best friends and stuff like that, why not take the opportunity to do so? And just like we just chopping it up and just like trying to think of things to like think of a name. And one of the things that I came across was Prolific, and it just like it rang a bell with me. And I was like, yo, I got this group called Prolific. I got this idea called Prolific, and I think it can rock. And came the label, came the color schemes. Where I kind of like everything I say is an accentuation of my personal life and stuff like that. Because my colors in school was black, white, and gold. So I was like,
Yeah.
this looks going to everybody. Fuck. And then it was like, all right, the flag, and I feel like, yo, one of the things that I love about this crew so much, like, yo, we are all like-minded individuals we're all like-minded individuals in what we want to accomplish in this business, but we all have our own style and how we incorporate that, and it just works.
Awesome. It's a great look. It's almost like a brand, like a recognizable brand. Like you see
It,
that.
it is a brand. It took me a long time to like to get to where we're getting at right now. And like one of the things that I love about this crew so much is the fact that individually we all are taking over a territory in professional wrestling. Myself in the New York DMV area and breaking into the West Coast and LA market and Midwest. And then the opportunity I had to go overseas, which made Prolific an international name
Oh yeah.
because of what I've done and what Lala's done, because she definitely brought the flag that's behind me to Uberhausen at WXW. So that was actually kind of dope to see that, and then just showcasing what I showcased thus far. And then Tyree Taylor killing it in the New England area, like Focus Pro heavyweight champ, the inaugural Wrestling Open Tag Team champ. It's just like, yo, I'm just like right now, it's a great feel when you see your family killing it, and all of a sudden it just makes me like it helps me raise my bar at the same time as well.
That's awesome. So we're kind of up to date on where everything is going. Where does everything begin for you though, as far as like wrestling goes? Like, were you always a fan?
Yeah, always been a fan. The first thing I could remember was I think a Royal Rumble, and I saw Hulk Hogan, and it was just like he wasn't like my inspiration. But I just saw something of that, and it was like I think a Royal Rumble or something like that. And I used to get my ass up a lot because I used to rip my shirts. And but then it like really started to click when I started watching like Bret Hart, who's like a big idol of mine and stuff like that. And then of course I was an ECW fan, and I thought that was like real cool. And then I started becoming like really like methodical, like in the chain wrestling, and just like everything of wrestling intrigued me. And
Mhm.
when I actually got into it, I just learned how to adapt to different styles, and going to the places I've been, it just like furthered my dedication and my passion and love for this.
That's awesome. So you saw Hulk Hogan at in a Royal Rumble. Do you remember how old you were?
I was like, that was like my first actual memory. I think I was like 3 years old. I'm like
Mhm.
my pops in the living room sitting on the floor, which always bothered me because he always had a perfectly good couch, but he just sat on the floor. And everybody in my house was just watching wrestling, and I was like, yo, I don't know what this is, but like it has his attention. And all of a sudden, like my dad was like my first hero, so I was like, all right, whatever
Yeah.
he's watching, I want to watch. So and then it just like kind of like snowballed. That was like our Saturday morning thing
Mm.
and stuff like that. Um, and then it just like became like my own little addiction. I started watching that like without him, and then it was just like, all right, I
Yeah.
want to do this. I don't know how I'm gonna do this, but I want to do this,
Yeah.
and here we are.
So it seems like people typically are in two different camps. They're either attracted to like the larger than life side of wrestling. Yeah, like my dog. Or they're really into the actual art of the wrestling. Based off everything you mentioned, which category do you think you'd put yourself in?
Well, I feel like I have a larger than life personality as it is, just because before I started wrestling, I did stand up, which I kind of like felt like it helped me out in regards to wrestling, especially when it comes to mic work and just thinking on the fly and just being myself. Some things I have to tone down because we live in that type of society. But like, yeah, but I feel like I'm a larger than life character, but I'm also feel like I feel like I'm a great personality. Like I had to learn the difference between being a character and being a personality really early in my career before I even started my career, which I think helped me out because like within comedy, I had to take notes and take class before I was
Mhm.
able to get my ass on stage and learn the foundations of this.
That's something like we've had the parallel between music and wrestling before because they're very similar. Like you're hitting the roads, you're like at the bottom, and then you work it up your bigger venues, all that kind of stuff. But I think comedy is very similar in the same way. How far did you take stand up comedy?
Oh, I took it pretty far. Like I didn't never got I never was able to get like on TV and stuff like that. Mainly because I always hated when I told the person I'm like, oh, what do you do? I do stand up. Oh, tell me a joke. I'm just like, oh, I hate that shit.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just like, oh, that pisses me. Like I have a set just ready at
Mhm.
your beck and call and whatnot. So I was like, it does make a lot easier, like wrestling. 'Cause, like, what do you do outside of your regular job? Like, oh, I'm a professional wrestler. I'm an indie wrestler. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm like, I
Right.
dare you to ask me to show me something, please, please.
Amazing. What is the worst bombing experience that you ever had with stand up?
My first time. I was like, shit, I ain't know what the fuck I was doing. No, I had an idea. I actually lied to the promoter of the club. Crazy part about it is I had my first show when I was 16, but over the phone I sounded like I was 18. So I remember calling. It was the New York Comedy Club in West 23rd Street. Like I found an ad in the paper, like, looking for open mic night, et cetera, et cetera. So I called them. Like, I lied about my age. I was like, yeah. They're like, well, you be here by like 10 o'clock. I was like, shit. I was like, all right, my curfew. That's my curfew. Yeah, so I told them I was staying at a friend's house and whatnot. Like, shit, my friends were with me, even though they shouldn't have been there because there was a 2-drink minimum. Nobody could drink.
Yeah.
And I just got on stage. He said my name and stuff like that. I got on stage and I was just like, 5 minutes. I was just like, shit, 5 minutes is a long time when you don't know what you want to say.
It is very long. Yeah. We signed up, but there wasn't enough space. Me and my friend were just gonna like do one thing, and like it's a lot, like to be able to fill 5 minutes and then to make it funny.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm like, damn. I was like, oh, that sucked. And the promoter was like, you're not 18, are you? I'm like, no, I am not. Like, I can tell by your friends. Like you got heart, kid. Like most grown ass adults just wouldn't even show up after this. I'm like, you want to come back? I was like, and whatnot. And I just like the second one wasn't as good either. But I was like, I kept trying. And then I just like, he was like, yo, you need to figure out the stories you want to tell instead of trying to just be funny. Like if you have funny stories, it makes your routines and your sets a lot easier and stuff like that. And I feel like that helped me incorporate that with my wrestling and my promos. Instead of me just trying to think of, oh, I got to do a wrestling promo, blah, 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 blah. And this is why I'm like, I'd rather just take you on a ride with my stories and like hopefully you're just like, oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah. And I want to get into that, especially like with some of the stuff you and like the Prolific do. Like recently you had like the big feud with La and all that stuff. But do you remember like your first like 5 minutes, what that was about?
Oh, what Lala?
No, with stand up. Do you remember like what that first set
I was nervous. I was extremely nervous. Was like, but I remember it might have been like my 4th or 5th show, and I'm like, and something must have happened. Like I think like my mom might have pissed me off or something like that, and I was just pissed off by it, and I had like some type of ammunition. Yeah. And I was like, I'm like, she's not gonna see this, but I'm definitely gonna talk about her ass. And I'm like, I just like, and I kind of like used those emotions and the feelings. And I got to go on stage, and I'm like, instead of it being about my mom, it was more like about women. And I was like, I'm like, oh, don't you know when a woman want to talk to you and then tell you to shut up? And he was like, but then you just tell me to talk to you, and she was like, just, and I was like, oh shit, I got my first laugh. Oh, okay, all right, let's spot one successful. Let's go.
Yeah, amazing. I'm a big stand-up comedy fan, so anytime, I think Roberto's in the same boat as well. So
yeah, for sure, absolutely. I think that I can't do what you two do. I'm not brave enough, but I feel like I try to do it when I do commentary, and so that's where I get it out. Like I'll just make references and whatnot, but it would be ridiculous for me to go on a stage and make Will Smith jokes. It'd be ridiculous. So
after a while, like I started to open up a little bit about myself on stage and stuff like that, and just like turning some of the things I've been through and some of the things that I've done into like my sets on like, and it helped resonate. It helped me out. It was like one of my big sets was how I got fired from being a drug dealer and shit like that. Like yeah, I was like, man.
Which one was the made you the most nervous, when you wrestled for the first time or when you did stand up for the first time?
It equals out, at least when you're wrestling and it's like your first time. Somebody will like, oh, he's still green as shit. Like
right.
Like they'll give you a benefit of the doubt. Like he's on a student showcase match. He's on a pre-show. It doesn't count. It's just him getting his reps, as opposed to open mic night. But it's like, boo.
Yeah,
you suck. That wasn't funny. This ain't for you, bro. try to, come
Yeah.
on. I was like, it hurts because it's like, honestly speaking, like I'm gonna be quite honest with you, like, yo, there's a difference between doing stand up in front of a white audience and doing stand up in front of a black audience. Like like a white, they'll chuckle. They're like, hmm, I saw what you did. I saw what you did there. I saw the black audience, bruh. Nah, fam, that ain't working. That ain't working, bruh. Get your ass off stage. Go on now. Come back when you funny. You probably never gonna see him. Like, damn. I was like, I thought I had the microphone.
My personal favorite is just the hook at the Apollo. That's
Oh.
always the funniest to me. When they give you the hook is great.
I'm like, at least they get the hug. I'm like, at least they'll pull your ass off stage. You have a bad night and you still got 3 minutes left. You just on there. Like, ain't like you want to just walk off. It was just like
dying. Yeah. This is why. You guys are brave. Like, shout out to you guys. Salute to you guys.
I've never done it. I've never done it.
You signed. Well, I mean, even you signed up for it though. You put your name on something.
Yeah, sure.
I haven't even gotten that far. But that's awesome.
The answer can definitely be no. But can we hear the story of how you got fired from being a drug dealer?
Yeah, I was, kid from Brooklyn. Yeah, I needed some, some side money. And it wasn't like I didn't sell something crazy. It was like just regular weed. I was like, all right, bet. I guess the person I was working for was tired of bagging just goat weed while everybody else had like better quality shit. And this is one of the things I said on stage. I was like, yeah, you ever got fired from being a drug dealer? I'm like, yeah, I have. Yeah, I was like, apparently the person I was working for, I guess he didn't like my customer service. I would talk to my clients. Most of my clients were old people, but nonetheless, they were my frequent clients. And stuff like that. I would just go to the nursing home, deliver some weed, hear some stories and whatnot. Like I knew the law. I knew if I had more than $300, that was a felony. Right now, I just have a misdemeanor. I can still go to college with a misdemeanor, but I was like, yeah. So apparently, I'm like, I was like, yeah. So I used to sell my weed, like $1.50, keep that in my pocket. Got a little misdemeanor, but never, no priors. So I was like, I bet. Go to the nursing home, sell it. God didn't believe me. He's like, yo, why you keep selling your weed so fast? I was like, I sell my nursing homes. He trailed me. He found out I was telling the truth. He like, yo, you sell regular weed. You're honest, and you have conversations with clients. You're like, yo, fam, this ain't for you. This ain't for you, man. It was like, nah. You're like, it's not even just that. Like, I try to put you on the block, and all of a sudden, people are talking and like, yo, you got old people just walking up to you when I'm trying to got my people to hustle and stuff. Like, that shit makes no sense. He was like, yo, first of all, when you want to sell your shit, you want to sell it and they leave. You don't want to sell it and have a 15-minute conversation. Now people looking at, you're like, nah, fam. I'm just gonna do us all a favor. I'm gonna fire you. I'm just like, what? You're like, you cut off, man. Yeah. Like, I'm making sure I'm making sure that no one works with you. I was like,
damn, you got blackballed.
I was like, yeah, man. I'm like, you trying to cut off my references? He's like, yo, first of all, this life ain't for you, bro. Just keep the 150 and just go about your business. And ever since then, I was like, damn, I think I'm the only person that got fired. I used to see him across the street, like, go on, D, go on, bro, go. It was like,
damn. I love that for you. School was your backup plan for drug dealing.
I did it for school. I was like, I literally did it for school. I was like, yo, summer youth, the summer youth money was done. I was like, yo, all right. Summer youth only lasted like 2 months. So I was like, all right, damn. And these little $20 here and there wasn't doing it. So I was like, I think weed can do it. I'm like, it ain't like I don't think I'm killing nobody. Just regular weed.
Yeah.
You were too blue collar for the job. You was too blue collar.
Yeah,
provide regular weed to regular folk.
Regular weed to regular folks, man. That's it. That's it.
That's a slogan. I don't know for what.
You should start a competing company and use that as your slogan. Regular weed for regular folks.
That's it.
Yeah,
I had no chronic. I had no Tivas. I don't even know what half these weeds are. I was like, I knew it was green, and that was it. And people smoked it. I was like, hey.
Yeah, that's it. That's all you need to know, really.
That's like the favorite part of their week too, probably.
Yeah. I
What
would
they're
come through like when their grandkids never showed up to see them, they would see me, and I would just like, hey, Agnes, hey, Henry, hey.
Oh, my friend Isaiah's coming over here today. Bring me some of that kush.
There go young Isaiah. He here with the treats. I was like,
You know what? I bet they was hitting on you too. You know, them old ladies out there. Them ladies in there was frisky. In the. I read somewhere that in old people homes, forgot which disease it was, but there was an STD that was running rampant. Yeah, it was one of those. Was running
honestly,
rampant.
once I was done, once my bag was empty, I left. Like I did my. I didn't stay. I didn't stay for the orgy. I stayed for the stories. I stayed for the stories because they,
was just that you gotta be careful because they're
Yeah.
those old broads are hoarding.
Yeah.
Old people and koala bears.
They have their own. They have their peoples for that. I'm just a visitor.
That's why they're getting it. That's why they're getting it for later.
We are severely off track for a wrestling podcast.
But that was actually one of my successful like stand-up bits when I actually started like catching my groove and stuff like that. And then by that time I was like 19, 3 years in, and I kind of had like a nice little set working for me and stuff like that. And I was able to take that other places and have it cross over to like from one demographic to another demographic. And then it was just like, all right, bet, like, yo, I need to learn how to promote myself, not just in front of like the hood, but the mainstream and stuff like that, because this is how I'm gonna get to point A to point B, and I feel like that same mentality helped me incorporate that with wrestling.
Yeah. So, at what point do you decide to like how old are you when you started training for the first time?
I started like in my mid 20s. Yeah, I was like, it was an ongoing thing. Like I used to go to a lot of live events and stuff like that, and then after a while, and then in these pay-per-view parties, like I like wrestling now, jobber tears parties and stuff like that. Shout out to Marcus Marquis because he was one of the guys that was going there as well. My old lady was just like, "Hey, you should talk to him," and stuff like that. And I was like, I don't know this brother, and I don't really want to roll up on someone that I don't know and ask him about a bunch of wrestling questions, even though, like, in the back of my mind, I would have rolled up on him eventually.
Right.
But I got the nudge, go talk to him. He chopped it over me about Warriors of Wrestling, even though I kind of had a little bit of wrestling experience training over at Johnny Rod's. But the funds weren't like that to keep going to Johnny Rod's at those prices at that time.
Yeah.
But so I took a hiatus off of that and just focused on comedy. And then Marcus chopped it up with him. Told him about Warriors. First thing I did, did my little research, spoke to the owner, rode my bike from Harlem to Staten Island. Anybody that knows that in New York knows that is one hell of a trip. September 25th, 2015. That was on a Wednesday. That was my first day of training. 4 weeks later, I had my first match. So I was like, I got a phone call. Hey, you got wrestling gear? Of course I don't. Well, better get some. You're up. I was like, what? The hell? All right. Okay. And it was like, and I was like, I think, and I haven't looked back since. And it was like, yo, it was one of those things where like when I'm very passionate about something, it's hard for me to enjoy just watching it. Like I have to be a part of it. Like those live events were brutal. I like, though they were fun and stuff like that, and to actually watch it. And those pay-per-view parties were actually fun to be around people that enjoy just like I did. It was like I want to be there. I want to do that. I want to have that. I want to, like, it was like more like a necessity. Like it was like, damn, I need to do this.
Yeah. First off, shout out to all the wives out there, like pushing us to be the best version of ourselves. I know that Roberto wouldn't be doing commentary without his wife. I probably wouldn't be here without mine. So just shout out to the ladies.
It's true. It's very true. I was trying to impress her, so I don't know. So I have a question. I don't want to let you get off the hook with that. You kind of like basically rode the fence. You said they're kind of both have their own things, but which one? What like it's got to be way more scary. You're standing in front of people in both situations, whether you're doing comedy or you're wrestling. But obviously, you're speaking in one and you're performing in another.
I'm like, yeah, well, in comedy, I'm fully clothed. In wrestling,
True.
damn, I should have ate that muffin this morning. I feel bloated. I didn't have to worry about this when I did stand up. Shit. I had to promote a physique. I was in good shape regardless, but I was like, damn, I was like, no, this sucks.
Did I wanted to know because did that one I suppose help you gain confidence in the other one?
When I had a microphone in my hand, definitely. Confident out the ass. You give me the microphone and you tell me to cut a promo. I was there for it. I always felt comfortable. Don't get me wrong, I do get nervous. I'm like, performing, period, I get nervous. Wrestling, like, it's not like comedy. It's different. Like, it's like more like it's a physical art. You tell your story, with your body, which is very unique for me. But it was also like, when I'm on stage, I'm by myself. There's nobody with me. It is just me. If I fuck up, that's me. In wrestling, I know they say you always want to always work with your opponent. You always want to work with your partner. But I was like, if I fuck up in this, somebody gets hurt. I get hurt. Like somebody's not gonna make it home the same way that they came to the ring in, and that's something that's gonna be on my burden. And I always kind of like take that to heart because I always want a person to still be able to do the same thing. The same thing that I love doing over and over again and stuff like that. So I always say like this it takes a toll on you mentally and physically, and for that's like more of like that is something I always say always something I always consider more of a challenge.
Dan, I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry, I was muted. Very well put. I think like a lot of people don't really realize that like we're so normalized to seeing guys in trunks. But like if I had to put on trunks and stand in front of people I've never met before, I would never leave the curtain, if I'm being honest with you. Like that part of it, I don't think people really like, while it's normalized to view, like yourself, it's okay. It's got to be kind of a battle in itself.
Oh yeah, man. Like the person I respect the most as a comic that just lets it all hang out, Brett Kirshner. You just take his shirt off, hot belly, all. He like, well, you're either gonna laugh at two things: my jokes or my body, and that is great fucking marketing, if you ask me.
Yeah.
like I was like, and it works. And he's being himself. In regards to wrestling, I just am like, you always want to portray the difference between like being an athlete and just being an average Joe, even though I feel like there are some wrestlers that are successful as hell as just being an average Joe. I know everyone wants to be a superstar and stuff like that, but sometimes you resonate with the person that you relate to. Like Austin was the guy that he was the working man.
Yeah.
But he had that larger than life personality because, he had that camera in front of him. But and ideally, that he was just a dude from Texas that got to fuck up his boss. Like, oh shit, I want to do that. like,
yeah.
Like, damn.
So, your first match, you had 4 days to get gear. What were you wearing on that first match?
Oh God. Oh man. My training sneakers. These MMA shorts like God damn. These black MMA shorts with a skull on the side of it. I found a denim. I think I found a denim like vest and stuff like that, and I had a knitted hat that said Brooklyn on it, and I was like, yo, and some kick and the $12 kick pads that everyone gets. Like I'm like that training kick pads. You know, they're not even a real kick pads from the high spots or anything else. They're like these little bullshit ass kick pads you get off of Amazon that people still wear these days and stuff like that. And it's like, I'm like, yeah, whew.
It's the most New York outfit I've ever heard.
It definitely was because I'm like before I had my locks, I had a low cut and stuff like that, and it was like I felt like so out of place. So I wore like a do rag in my matches and stuff like that. So I was like, I'm like, and I feel like I had that indie wrestler mentality. I ain't wearing no wrestling gear. Nah, I'm gonna be different. And I was like, and then when you look at it, and like now, it was like, damn, that shit. Mm, I, mm, I look so backyard. Like, so glad I took advice from getting some customized shit. It was like, damn.
What was your character like, or was there a character for that match?
I'm like, honestly speaking, I'm just like, I was put on this. I was put on the spot. He was like, cause I had two matches. I had like a birthday party show, and then I had an actual live audience show. And all of a sudden, the birthday party show, like we were doing something. He was like, "What's your ring name, kid?" I was like, I was pissed off because he called me kid. I'm like, first of all, I'm a grown ass man. Don't call me fucking kid. But like, secondly, I was like, damn. I was like, damn, what is my? I was like, yo, Isaiah Wolf. And it was like, and it clicked because it wasn't like it clicked morally because it wasn't the original name, but all of a sudden the name actually meant something to me because it's my oldest son's middle name, and I always consider myself the head of my wolf pack and my family and stuff like that. So it just worked out. Isaiah Wolf, and plus, and like everyone that starts chanting Wolf and stuff like that. So like when you can like shorten something to make it like kind of cool and stuff like that, it always goes well.
Yeah.
And then like and the character that I had, I'm like I never believed that I was ever a character. I believed that I was a personality, and I just had to find out what I had to be able to showcase different types of personality. Because you have the leader of Prolific, Isaiah Wolf, and you have bringing that big dick energy, Isaiah Wolf. And you got the American Gangster, and then you got Kill Wolf Kill. It was like I had to find layers, and when it was time to bring that out and just like showcase that, because I didn't want to like put myself in a box as a character, because then I had to do character shit as opposed to just
True.
like opening myself up to different feelings and that, and or I like to call it different stories, and that was allowing me to like take people on journeys with me and stuff.
That's great. At what point do you feel like the like Isaiah Wolf like was solidified? Like, do you have a match where you're like, all right, I'm fucking here. I deserve to be here.
You know, it's crazy. Like I am entering like my 9th going on 10th year, and like I was confident like year 3, year 4 when I first won my first tag title, and then my first individual like secondary title and stuff like that. But then it didn't start to click until like year 6 and stuff, like no year 7, 6. But it was actually I had an idea when we was a part of when we first started Prolific. And we got to wrestle for the Ring of Honor tag team titles. And I was like, all right, yo, this is dope, man. Like, we doing shit, boy. And stuff like that. But I didn't really have that strong idea. Like I was believing what I was representing with Prolific, but I didn't have that, I guess, that self belief in what Isaiah Wolf was doing at that time. It was always like that. I wouldn't even say doubt, but it was always like that. I needed to find a reassurance that I knew what the fuck I was doing.
Yeah.
And then yeah, like this December 2022, or I believe, or 2023, I Combat Zone Wrestling. I had my match against Fred Yeha, and all of a sudden, I remember like Marcus was with me that show, and Lalo to me that show, and I was just like, this is the big match. That was my first ever like singles main event match there. And I already got told from the promoter, he was like, yo, this match ain't gonna be crazy long. You like just so do what you got to do. I was like, if I can't kill it in 8 minutes, shouldn't be doing this shit.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, I remember walking up to Marcus. I was like, and I just looked up to him. I walked up to him. I was like, yo, I'm ready. And he was just like, fuck are you talking about? I was like, yo, I'm ready. I'm like, yo, like, I don't know what it is, but I'm like, I feel like, yo, this is my time.
Mm,
And my music hit, red music hit before the bell even rang. I just heard, this is awesome, both these guys, and we ain't even do shit. And I was
yeah.
like, and I knew what I wanted to do leading up into the match because I was always a fan of Fred's, and I always watched how he wrestled, and I always like to consider myself a hybrid wrestler. Like I'm hybrid. I can do different styles, but I was like, I also like wanted to be able to master the art of counter wrestling and countering someone's strength.
Mm,
So I was like, oh, I'm gonna do this and the third to tell a story from here. And next thing I know, like he had a program with somebody else. And because of what me and him did, it actually kind of outshined that program to lead that
mm,
program to being cut a little bit short. And then me and him pretty much ran for a whole damn near like half the year, which and it
Yeah.
finally led into like one of a personal creation of mine. It's called Trial by Combat. No ropes, no rules, knockout or submission, and it was just like, damn, this was like that. I think that first match, in that first match between me and him, it was like, oh yeah, I'm meant to be here more so now because I've had some strong matches. I wrestled Shane Strickland and stuff like that. I've been in the ring with all these OGs and stuff, but I was like, yo, this is like that one match. I was like, yo, I am a fucking force in this in this industry, and
yeah.
they're gonna know that.
Yeah. That's awesome. Trial by combat. How does that differ in like how does the storytelling differ in those kind of matches, or like how do you prepare for those?
Well, it was actually my first. Like, I created something, so I was like, oh, that's what idea. I'm like, and it became like a blood feud. It started off by just two guys that just want to beat the fuck out of each other. And it was like, yo, he won the first match. I like the second match was a 15-minute draw, 15-minute time limit draw. The third match, I finally won a match, and it was like, yo, and then it was like, yo, tag matches and telling the story that I'm like, yo, and we beat the shit out of each other in different venues. So it was like, yo, can't hold this. I'm like, yo, we ain't gotta hold this. No ropes. You can't run. I'm like, yo, Kumite, let's just do this. I was like, and man, it was like I had to get myself with a different mentality and stuff like that. Where it was like, I'm gonna hurt after this, but I'm just like, I promise you, he gonna feel twice as bad, some way somehow.
Yeah.
And I had to like get myself in that mentality. Where it's like, yo, when it's like, I want people to feel every match I have. I'm under the impression that you're trying to take something from me, and I refuse to have you take that shit from me. Like, and that kind of works for me.
Mhm. Uh, that's really cool. Speaking of CZW and kind of like taking it to the next level, you recently had a match with Kenta in CZW for the
Oh
best.
yeah, man. Shit, I found out last minute I was working his ass. I was just like, yo, hey, got a match for you. I'm quick question. What are you doing? I was like, I got an opportunity, someplace else. I got to put myself someplace else. And I want to shout out Steve off for Pro Wrestling Magic because I was booked on that show, and then I told him the opportunity that was presented to me. And he was just like, yo, brother, go take it. He's like, we'll be here. We appreciate you letting us know, but this is a big opportunity. And I will always have love and respect for Steve Off and Pro Wrestling Magic, and why I pretty much go crazy when I'm there. Even though I ask permission first, but I always show the love and support there because of the opportunity that he blessed me with. And yeah, I got invited, or I got offered to wrestle the best of the best for the second year in a row, and one of the first round matches was against Kenta, and I was like, damn. My first match was against Kenta, who I met previously and stuff like that, and it was like, oh damn. I was like, all right, I'm gonna bring it. And
Yeah. How does he rank on like the hardest
Chris
hitting?
Rowley again. Oh, we're back. Oh, let's go. All right.
Uh, how, how, how does it rank amongst like the hardest hitting people you've been in the ring with?
That's tough because I like That is tough because I've wrestled a lot of heavy hitters and stuff like that, like Tracy Williams. Like my first interaction with him, I was like in year 5 of my wrestling career, and that brother chopped the shit out of me. Like he chopped me one time to the point where I forgot like what I was supposed to do next. He was like, I was like, and he came in with them strong ass Japanese chops. It was like, where was it? What the fuck? What was the? I was supposed to do something. He just rolled out. You're like, no, you get your ass over here. I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna have to get his ass back somehow. And then wrestling the rep. Oh my god, Dave McCall. Oh, that man got razor blades. He got like razor blades in his like callus in his palms. This is one of the things I love about pro wrestling magic. Like I've gotten like big dick energy like over so well that now I just have like the whole crowd just start chanting BDE. And they like I was like BDE BDE. I was like,
That's amazing.
and
Wrestling is.
I look at because Tyree used to hate that shit. You're just like, yo, don't do it. I was like, I'll do it. They're like, come on, man. And I was like, it's over.
You gotta give the people what they want.
I'm like, yeah. I'm like, come on, man. T-shirt shells. Like we sell merch, man. That's why we do it. To sell merch.
That's what. Yeah, that's capitalization. You're losing money if you don't do it.
Yeah, I'm like, come on, bro. It's a thing. It's a thing. People love chants.
Yeah.
Well, I'm like, yeah. Hard hitters, Tracy Williams, Dave McCall from the rep. Fred Yeha, most definitely. Oh man. It's like Kenta kicks suck. Kenta kicks definitely suck. I ate one. I was like, yeah, fuck you. And then he heard it, and then he's kicking again, and then you chant it in strong Japanese. Fuck you too. I was like, all right. Okay. You came to play. Deshaun Pratt. Definitely, yeah. Like every time me and him in the ring with each other, for some reason, it just be just moments. We just excited to just beat the shit out of each other and stuff like that. Damn, STP. I was like, I'm ready for my match against Shane Taylor. I'm like, I didn't even get to. I knocked him out, and like I gave him the bicycle with a silencer. I put him on his ass. So I was like, wow. I was like, all right. He gonna want to get his pounds of flesh after me saying that, but fuck it.
If Shane Taylor listens to this, we're doing. I don't want to say you're probably safe, but I don't think he's listening to us in the gym.
I was like, nah, but I'm just like, yeah, there's probably a lot. And honestly speaking, there's a lot of people that I do want to wrestle in the near future, and I feel like I'll have that ability to wrestle in the near future. Shit, I forgot another Darius Carter. Oh my god, that snug son of a bitch in them Euros. Boy, all right. I've had great matches with him that actually helped elevate me at the same time. A lot of people, like I said, I do want to wrestle in the near future, and I feel like I could tell great stories with and just hold it down and showcase what I do. So,
who are some of those people that you're hoping that you get to step in the ring with over the next year or two?
Damn, my OG Rich Swann. I want to wrestle Black G's again. Myron Reed, Calvin Tankman.
Ooh, talk about hard hitting.
Yeah, Plus, it's up my demographic and it's right down my alley. Like, I feel like I can go toe to toe with anybody in anything. O'Shea, Edwards, Jordan Oliver. When that time comes, Reggie. Yeah, from NXT now, Sydney Akin. Just like I want my rematch against Swerve. I know his schedule's like crazy right now, but like there's one of those matches where you barely won, but you still got it done, and it's like it's more of a pride thing. Like shit, I know I could beat his ass definitively, but I was like I just got through this and stuff like that. I'm just like right now. I feel like the Indies is for the taking, and why not take it? If not me, why not my whole crew at the same time? Like
Yeah.
I am confident in my ability to be a fucking draw.
Yeah. I'd love to see it in this area. I feel like there's so many people like Lala and like the whole crew need to just come down here and invade some shit.
And never say never. Like North Carolina know a little bit about us. Yeah, I have no problem flying down there. I'm not doing that drive. That drive is fucking crazy.
Speaking of drive, what are some of your favorite places to stop on long road trips for like whether it be gas stations, food?
To be quite honest, yo, my long drives, I try to just get to this destination as quickly as possible. I'm just like, I was like, yo, they should be brutal. Nah, driving to the Carolinas is always fun, like especially with like Tyree and Marcus, because we're just a bunch of goofballs and just like to do stupid shit on the roads and stuff like that. Plus, uh, I am a huge I like to fuck with my peoples a lot.
Yeah.
Especially Tyree because he's the big dude of the crew. So it's like if I don't fuck with him, that all right, cool. My shit was like on some mirror. Glad I got that fixed. Yeah, fun places that I've had. Whatchamacallit. I know I probably just fucked the whole camera thing up. Fun place I've had. Yeah, driving to North Carolina was fun. My first time in Ohio was definitely fun. Driving to Baltimore for CZW was very interesting. It just rained. I don't know why. Shit was just. I was like, but it like I enjoy the long rides and stuff like that because I'm like one like that's just me bonding with my family and stuff like that, and just me talking shit. Like, but I feel like when I know I gotta go someplace, my job is to pretty much just like get there.
Yeah.
Like just me being a family man, I just want to get to my destination so I can like get back safely. So there's no mess and shit like that. But like any like my best road trip, I would just say was in Germany. Yeah,
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Germany on the way. Germany taking a road trip to Amsterdam. Yeah.
Yeah. I heard a little bit about this when Lala was on Take the Pictures. What is your Amsterdam story? Did you partake in some of the stuff maybe you were fired for doing?
Nah. That was the first trip to Amsterdam was business. So I was like, I'm the old guy chaperoning shit like that. So I'm just like, you make sure everybody's good and stuff like that. But I did have fun. I did enjoy myself. My first European tour. Um, it was fun. Like I learned a lot. I learned different styles of wrestling out there, and that is something that knowledge is something that can't be taken away, and I will always appreciate that having an opportunity. But but when I got to wrestle in Amsterdam for the first time, pro wrestling Holland, oh my god, I love them. Martin, shout out. Yeah, my first show was at this skate park, like damn near 700 people, 800 people, and it was just like, and I got to defend my pro wrestling R now deemed world heavyweight title. And this is my first time being introduced to them, and I had a match with Zamir, and it was just by the time the match was over, it was like, yo, I had the whole crowd just chanting Wolf. You know, like, they couldn't say my first name to save their lives. I was TheisaiahWolf for like 4 minutes until it was like, TheisaiahWolf. I was like, fuck is Isaiah? Okay, I was like, whatever. And then and it was kind of funny because I'm chanting Wolf to get the crowd to chant it. So I was like, at first I think people thinking I'm barking. So it was like, sort of like Wolf, yeah, Wolf, Wolf. I was like, no, Wolf, the name. And then I think somebody like put him on and it was like yeah, Wolf, Wolf. I was like, okay. Then next thing I know, like, yeah, like that match happened. I was like, yo, dude, like you had one of the, like, you probably was probably blowing smoke on my ass, but like you had one of the best matches on the card. I was like,
Mm.
yeah, I appreciate that. And the funny thing about Amsterdam crowds is, when you have a great match, they offer you a lot of weed. I like, funny story about that. I was like, yeah, I'm outside, I'm drying off and whatnot. The crowd can see me. And they're like, "Oh my God, Isaiah, you great match." Is it smoke? I was like, "Nah, I'm good, I'm okay, and whatnot." And then I don't know who this guy was. I'm like, I believe he works for the company, one of the roadies and stuff like that, or just one of the production guys. He could not smoke weed. He is a professional athlete. It is not good for his friend. He like, I will smoke it for him. Smoking for him. I was like, I appreciate that, and it was just like it kept coming. They kept flooding me. It was like if it wasn't weed, it would offer me beer. I was like, yeah, I'll take the stubs to buy that chocolate milk, because the chocolate milk was on point. I was like, yo, that shit. I'm like, but the guy, he was just like, he was taking them hits from me. He was literally like, this must have had like 30 joints, like he was pulling it and shit like that. I was like, yo, I really appreciate, like, no problem, brother. And then next thing I know, I'm like, we finally make it back to our hostel and stuff like that. I hit up the promoter. I was like, yo, Martin, I was like, yo, I really appreciate the opportunity that you gave to me and all this stuff. And I'm like, yo, tell that guy that your production guy, I appreciate that. I appreciate him, like kind of like smoking weed for me, because like that's not what I do and whatnot. And he was just like, brother, I don't have a guy that works to put the ring up. I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me, son. Like, yo, this dude was a random, just just got courtesy high. It was like wow. I was like, that is amazing. Only in Amsterdam, right? So I was
Right. That is a world class criminal. I don't even know if he's a criminal, but like he's a mastermind. Like,
yeah, I guess he saw the first offer. He just spoke up for me, like, no, he is an athlete. No, I will partake. I will smoke for him. And I was like, like, yo, this genius. I was like, wow, I can't even get mad at that. Like, and I'm just on the phone laughing. I was like, can't wait to tell that story.
He probably didn't even live there. He's just visiting.
No clue.
yeah, amazing. So you did Amsterdam, you did Germany for WXW, correct?
I did, Pro Wrestling Holland, WXW. I was also in PCW, Preston City Wrestling, out in Preston City, or in United Kingdom,
Mm.
and that was fun. I was like, I never want to say I feel myself short, but I always like to be the person that I don't believe shit until shit happens. And I was like, wow, this is really fucking happened. I am in Germany. Oh shit, I am in Amsterdam. I've seen Amsterdam on Euro Trip and other movies about Amsterdam, but I'm actually here. I've seen WXW on the network. I am like, wow, like I am actually training and
Yeah.
wrestling here, like London. I was like, I've seen countless movies about London and stuff like that, and I'm like, and here I am experiencing this, and I'm experiencing this off the back of a dream and passion.
Mhm.
It's like, shit, like maybe I am meant to be. I'm meant to be here.
Yeah. So what's next for you? What are your goals? Where do you want to be? Where do you want to take Prolific?
I want to take my whole crew overseas. Like, like I want everyone to experience what I got to experience. Like Tyree, Marcus, Dre. This will be their first time. This will be myself and Lala's second time. Like I want to tour Japan. I want to get that feel. Like, I feel like some of the things that are missing from the indies is a lot of people just do a lot of people just do what, like, the hot spots of the states or of their region,
Mhm.
and then like some may get signed, or some just stay in the hot spots, but no one ever becomes abroad. No one ever makes that trip become like I feel like I feel like it's important to actually see the world through
Mhm.
in wrestling, and actually pick up the different cultures and the different styles by actually being there and doing that. It's different to it's easy to try to find a guy or find a lucha school in North America, but it's different
Of
to actually train lucha down in Mexico City, and all of a
course.
sudden, and because that's where that shit originates. Like it's their culture. You'll learn a lot more when you immerse yourself in that culture, and just like I want to become stronger with our differentiate myself with British chain wrestling
Mhm.
or European chain wrestling. I was able to do that in London and in Germany, and just being in Europe. Period. My time in Canada, I had fun. I got to immerse myself with their style of wrestling and stuff like that, or how they tell their stories and what gets over out there. And I'm just like, yo, I feel like when I can actually hit those pinpoints and all of a sudden be able to fully become that world travel vet, it makes my resume even better for when it's time for me to actually be on television. Like my skills and my talents undeniable, because I took the time to hone my craft on a
Course.
global basis.
Of course. Yeah, makes a lot of sense. Um, and we all just ask that once you do get on TV, don't forget about us. Um,
Oh hell no! Like, first of all, real shit. Y'all the first person to ever found out about the drug dealer story.
amazing.
I've never said that shit on any podcast. I'm like, y'all the first ones to hear that bit that wasn't on stage on a podcast. So that
Oh,
showed you something.
yeah, that's definitely high praise. We're trying something new. It's called the speed round. It's where we just go back and forth with random questions that we haven't yet thought up yet. So I'm gonna let Roberto go first because I haven't thought of one yet.
What's your fondest? What is your fondest memory of a cheeseburger?
You know what's crazy?
What's that?
Outside fuck it, yo, outside of wrestling, I'm actually a chef.
Oh shit!
Yeah. So one of the things that I've had to cook quite often because call outs and shit are cheeseburgers. So I was like, yeah. So there's moments where I'm like, they're not too fun. We got to do it for like 10 hours out the day.
Oh
Like
yeah.
there's no fond memory. But what's crazy? My most recent memory or favorite memory is this place called Abbey Burgers in Harvey Grace, and they had this caribou burger. I was like, yo, caribou meat, like you mean the meat in Africa, like the shit they hunt on Naked and Afraid? They're like, yeah,
Yeah.
we got that. I was like, bring that shit on. I was like, let's do this shit. I was like, put some pepper jack cheese on, some sauteed onions. Let's have some fun. Let's fuck up the menu here. And I had it, and I was like, okay. 20 minutes later, I got a toothpick. That was some good ass caribou. Now nobody motherfucker even like, no, I understand. I understand.
Amazing. That's the best answer we've had to that question. Which, believe it or not, is not just a random question. um, what is your go-to song? Like, what are you listening to before you go out for a match usually, or are you listening to anything?
Um, Honestly, I don't like. I used to listen to music. I only listen to music when I'm warming up. But anything like before my match, like my entrance music pretty much gets me hype. Um, Crazy shit. I might read old text messages and I like to call it fuel. Uh,
Uh-huh.
I read old text messages or old messages from promotions I used to hit up back in the day when I wasn't ready to, when I really wasn't qualified to apply there, or just hit up promoters and I just see red. I'm like, oh, well, fuck them. I'll show them, and just yeah, this match I'm gonna show them and shit like that. Or I like to call it the ex-girlfriend text message. It's like a word for real. That's like them. That's like them. Wait and see.
Anybody notice Isaiah hit a little extra hard this match?
Or I like to jot back to like a reminder. I like, cool, Mr. Muhammad, high school, said I wasn't gonna amount to shit. Duly noted.
Are you?
About going down in the deep. They go, let's go. You're like, oh, he's in. He's in.
So I forget what movie. I think maybe like were there it might have been The Big Lebowski where you like picture somebody's face on like the bowling pins. Does that ever go through your mind when you're like
No. I don't want to knock somebody ass out like on purpose or intentionally. I don't want to have those psychotic breakdowns where all of a sudden like you took my lunch money back in the 3rd grade. You must have died. hey. I try to keep a clear mind, like at least close to a clear mind before I hit the ring and stuff like that. So those are like, I feel like those 5 seconds before my music cues is probably going to be like the only time in that moment or in the world where everything just stops and everything just goes like silent before I have to snap into Isaiah Wolf and like transform my whole being and my whole persona into this person. So that's like that one moment where I was like, okay. I like a moment of levity. Yeah. And I was like, all right.
Great answer. Yeah. Definitely don't want to just be attacking your high school teacher in the ring.
Give me your Mount Rushmore of juice flavors.
Mount Rushmore of juice flavors? All right, cool. Cranberry juice, pineapple juice. Very, very simple. Orange juice. And the last one is going to be dragon fruit lemonade.
I'll allow it.
That's not a juice. Come on.
I'm a chef. I can make you an dragon fruit lemonade. You'd be like, yo, this is the best juice I've had.
Yeah, I think he wins. I think he out trumps your knowledge and skill. So when it comes to juice.
Fair enough.
Cranberry, do you like straight cranberry or diet cranberry? Because I feel like diet cranberry is a little easier.
Nah, straight cranberry. Straight cranberry. The only reason I'm not drinking cranberry juice right now is because I opened this one up, and I like to finish what I start in regards to my juices. I don't like to just open up random like my kids.
Got him.
Shade throws.
What are your like go-to feel-good movie? Like you've had a bad day or something, you're putting on a movie or a TV show. What's your like safe comfort zone when it comes to it?
I felt, damn, I'm about to date myself in this, and oh god, USA Psych with James Roden and Dwight Hall. I always loved. I don't know why. I love shit.
You're preaching to the choir. We literally talked about this like
yesterday.
Damn.
To the blueberry.
Yeah. Big Bang Theory. Just I don't know. It just tickles my funny bone. Two Broke Girls was actually quite funny. I'm mad that stopped. Shit. Damn. What else? It was an HBO show. Boardwalk Empire. I know that sounds crazy, but I'm like, yo, it's great movie. I mean, a great show. My feel good movies. I was gonna say Scott Pilgrim versus the World because it's just asinine.
Yeah, it's fun.
Zombieland.
Good one,
yeah. Coming to America. No, give me a phrase. I'm gonna take out Coming to America with Harlem Nights. Damn, man, that's yeah. That's what I'm gonna rock. I'm gonna rock with that. I'm gonna rock with that right now. I have other TV shows and stuff like that, but like the moment I name them, then somebody can try and play them and distract me. We're not doing that.
Last night, and I'm kind of ashamed to admit that it took me this long. I watched Beverly Hills Cop, and that shit is fucking.
It took me some. I had to watch it on Sunday where I look at it like watching him in my daughter's little her house. And like she got a little house. I'd hide from my family and just like watch it quietly in the dark, making sure that no one heard me laugh like that. But yeah, like honestly, like just get myself in a better mood. I just like watch old stand up.
Yeah. Who's your Mount Rushmore of stand up comedians?
Pryor, Chappelle, Griffin, and I was gonna say Cat, but I found this new dude. Well, he's not new, but I'm like, yo, he's new to me and shit like that. Cause I watched all 4 of his series and some of his stuff on Instagram. Ali Sadiq.
I've heard of him, yeah.
Yeah, I watched it. Domino Effect 1 through 4. I'm like, yo, his story, like he puts his sets and his stories like fluid, and I love comedy that makes you that's like witty, also makes you think, and all of a sudden, and you can bring something back, just like that.
Oh yeah, perfect.
Do you believe in ghosts?
Hell yeah.
Good one. You have any ghost stories?
Yeah, that's what was my next question.
I'll tell you one. Well, it's not really a ghost story, but it scared the shit out of me. Prime example. I don't like when lights go off unbeknownst to me in my house.
Yeah.
Because especially when I'm in vulnerable spots, because the first thing I do is I throw punches, no questions asked. No questions asked. I'm eating my food. Now, I don't like to eat my food in the dark because I want to see what the fuck I'm eating. Even if I made it myself, I need to see what I'm eating. It's a sensory thing for me. My kids have this thing about playing with lights, or when they don't hear nothing, they just cut the lights off. I'm eating my food. It's 11 o'clock. I'm thinking everyone's asleep. No. Next thing I'm eating my food. I'm like, out of nowhere, my light shuts off. I panic. I just throw hands. I don't know what the fuck I'm looking. I don't care what's around me. I'm just throwing hands. All I hear is tink tink, and someone starts crying. I cut the light on. It is my son on the floor. I was like, and a part of me was like, I need to be a dad right now, but the man in me whose heart started to palpitate because he thought if that was it, like all of a sudden paranormal activity is now coming to life. I was like, yo, fuck him. I was like, you don't do this. No, don't, nah. Then I had to snap the dad mode. You all right, man? I'm sorry. I fucked you up on that one, man. It's all good. It's all good.
I bet that stole my question about if would you hit your son if he turned into a paranormal ghost. So I don't have that question anymore.
I didn't know what it was. I just know lights off. Hands and feet, no questions asked. No.
Yeah. Bet he'll never do it again. So.
What is something you would feel comfortable eating in the dark?
Sex. Like, I like it, and even that, like, if it got darker, I'm just gonna sacrifice the person I'm with. I gotta see it me before I can. I like to follow their airplane commandments. You know, put the mask on yourself before saving anybody else, and like that.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Perfect. And we will end this episode on this. Oh, you have one more?
No. I think you're gonna ask it.
I wasn't. So if
it's about food, what you're gonna ask?
I wasn't gonna ask anything. So go for it.
Oh well, yeah. What is your go-to combo at Cookout?
Have you been? I know they don't really have Cookout.
Oh yeah, yeah. Do they even have a Cookout up there?
What, New York? Yeah.
They have Cookouts.
We have Cookouts, but I don't go to everybody else. I don't go to everybody's Cookout. I'm just like, and that sucks sometimes because, like, outside of here, people outside of wrestling, like my friends and family know I'm a chef. So like I may go to grab a plate and then look at me and was like,
I definitely know now that there are no cookouts up there because you thought I was talking about a cookout and not the fast food joint. So yeah, they don't exist up there.
Oh, all right, yo, fast food joints out here, like it's crazy because like damn, like I don't eat fast food like that only because like I'm in a restaurant, so by the time I get out, I don't want nothing. I'm like, yo, I'll tell you this right now, in any chef's house, I'm like, yo, there's gonna be food there, but it ain't gonna be food that he made. Or like real shit, like yo, I'm like, I will grab a bowl of cereal before I cook in my own house, only because of the fact that I am cooking like for damn near 9 to 10 hours straight. I don't want to see a pot and pan.
Yeah,
I'm
I don't.
I like like if it wasn't for the fact of my kids, I would not cook. like, I would not. I was like, I've actually
Last
shown
que-
my mom
la-
cook, so she's doing it.
last question I have. It's been brought to my attention recently that my father sat through some pretty shitty movies with me against his will. Is there something currently that your kids make you watch that you just know, like just no, you can't do it? What is
Oh, for
it?
sure.
Paw Patrol, the new one, the new one, the new Paw Patrol. Cause it's yo real shit. Like yo, Nickelodeon is fucked up. Like they try to make kids woke to like life early. I'm just like yo, let a kid be a kid. So I'm like they got a dog on there with just like 3 legs. So I'm like, kind of shit is that? How you gonna like what the shit? Like, bruh. How you trying to teach a kid adversity or like missing? I'm like, nah, fam, it's a dog. I'm just like, yo, they, first of all, you're already making like you got my kids questioning things already, but now I gotta tell them why this dog has 3 legs. I'm just like, I don't know what to tell you. I'm just like, yo, dude, there are some things in this world I want to answer. This is one of them. This is one of the things I can't. I'm just like, why did dog like 3 legs?
That shit happens.
Right. And I gotta make up some shit, to also teach them what happens when you don't listen to your parents. Like, what happened to me? I always think he lost it
you
jumping off that goddamn cabinet. That's what happened. Like,
you
don't
could you could show them the episode of Thomas the Tank Engine where they put James won't take something. James just won't move out of the entry place, so they just stuff him underneath a bridge and just seal it up, so
oh
he
yeah.
never gets to go anywhere ever again. And like
I'm
that's what he got.
I'm
Like,
just like I watch my kids stuff and I'm just like, yo, this is so asinine. Especially when I look at my kids like when I look at my kids' browser history on YouTube, and it's just like, to be quite honest, I'm like, yo, whoever creates this content on YouTube,
It's
yo,
fucking.
kudos to them because it's the most asinine shit I've ever seen. Like my son will literally sit down like on in the couch for 20 minutes watching a guy like drive over things. I'm just like just random like
oh,
just
that's nothing.
and
You,
I'm
you
just
haven't seen you haven't seen Skibbity Toilet yet, have you?
I'm like I don't think I want to. I don't think I want
Oh
to.
man, yeah, that's
My favorite action I think like both my kids watch is them rolling something down the stairs to see what step is gonna break the glass bottle. And I'm just like, y'all motherfuckers will create anything and people just watch it because after a while, like now I'm watching this shit. I'm like, I bet it's gonna make it to that fourth step. It's
I've
gonna
been there. Yeah, yeah. TikTok's gotten me before. I've been there. Yeah.
be
we're doomed. We're
Yeah.
all doomed.
I'm like, yeah.
Uh,
I watched the Slinky go down a flight of stairs because of my son. Because that's how he wanted to bond with me. He's like, Daddy, Slinky. I'm like, you want to watch a Slinky as opposed to playing with one and
It's oddly satisfying.
back when I was growing up, we watched wrestling like normal kids. Did they
like
like wrestling at all?
there one does. I'm like he just likes I'm like both my kids like when I play with them when I slam them down and stuff like that. Do they know what I do per se? Probably not. Like, it hasn't hit them why dad's gone on the weekends or why dad is gone from home, like like weeks or months on end from time to time and stuff like that. But I feel like it's gonna come a time where they're gonna start questioning what I do and they're gonna start asking me, and I want to be ready for that talk with them and stuff.
You ever get the urge to, put the 7 pounds of pressure on one of them?
They've taken it. They didn't take the knee part, but it definitely been flipped inside and just they just giggle. I was like, oh, y'all just gonna no sell my shit. All right.
Let them turn that light out.
Yeah.
For everybody.
We have this bit on another podcast we do when things kind of get like cancelable. We'll just hit them with the. But yeah, man, this was really fun. I appreciate you taking the time to talk with us. I know it's kind of late. Not kind of late. It's 11:53, and that's pretty late for me. So I appreciate you taking the time to talk with us. This was really great. I appreciate you coming on.